I always thought that I would enjoy being a carpenter, but I never imagined it might be a job that I could actually do.
I began being the handy woman because I bought a house, and it was a bit of a fixer-upper. I didn't know a stud from a cowboy.
Well, I think when I first started, I was really intimidated by my size, so it took a little bit of persuading myself to go into the trade, but then once I got into the trade, I realized that, you know, there is areas where I fit in.
I've done pretty much everything else, any job there is to do out there. So this was what I wanted to do with the rest of my life.
Back when I was younger, I got told things that if you were really smart, you went to university, if you were sort of smart, you went to college, and if you weren't smart at all, you became a tradesperson. So the universe has changed since then. We don't need more accountants, we don't need more lawyers, we need more plumbers, and we need more bakers, and we need more electricians, and carpenters, and mechanics.
I took the pre-employment pipe fitting, and there was 5 weeks of sheet metal involved in that. And after that, I decided to actually go into the trade. They just started me out as first year and on-the-job training.
The college started a culinary program a couple of years ago, so if you were interested in the culinary arts, that could be your first step. Without having to leave the territory, if you weren't really sure that's what you wanted to do, you could take the year program up at the college.
They offered a program to let me get my foot in the door into trades and just test everything out without the pressure of men and other people saying it needs to be done right now. And they just gave me the confidence I needed to say, hey, yeah, I'll go do that, I'll be a carpenter.
In order to get your journey level for carpentry, you need to work for 4 years under a ticketed carpenter, and each year you go to school for 8 weeks. I got employment insurance while I was at school, and all the tuition and the books are paid for. After having done a degree, I thought it was a great deal.
I wanted to be a pastry chef. I studied pastry. In Canada, unfortunately, though, we have 2 culinary titles. We have chef and we have baker. So I started, I think, in the kitchens when I was 21 years old. I did a year in France, I did 2 years in England, and I came home and I realized I didn't like cities, so that meant I had to expand, and I went from being solely a pastry chef to being a baker to being a chef to running kitchens. I challenged my red seal 10 years after I started, and I got it, so there you go. It doesn't have to be a straight path. You can pick your own route. I believe truly for me the next step is probably self-employment. So I believe my next step will be to open a place of my own.
I am a commercial podcaster, so I create podcast content for websites and companies, and I'll go into conferences and do all of their podcasting, record all of their audio, and then break it up into podcasts to be put on their website during the conference.
This podcast was recorded at the Yukon Women Exploring Trades Conference.
I really did learn everything that I learned through doing it. I took a few courses along the way. There were training courses in studio recording and radio skills. So, you know, where do you hold your microphone? How close do you have to be to a person to get a good sound? I really think audio is a really intimate medium. So when you're listening to audio, you're hearing, you know, people say the trees are green. You can't see the trees, you have to imagine the trees. So you're really engaging with your listener.
I do, well, home repairs and renovations, so I go to people's houses and whatever they want fixed up, I fix it. You need to be a people person, especially if you're going to work just for yourself. A detail type person, because in the end, the good product ends up being all about the details. What I like about running my own business is, of course, the freedom to come and go at the times that I want to. There's nobody breathing down my neck. Mind you, I have a million bosses. They're all my customers, but I get to pick and choose.
We've got a great organization in town, which is Yukon Women in Trades and Technology. They can help you with finding information or who you need to talk to, but more than anything is that they're supportive. So through your trials and tribulations of trying to attain your goal, you have an organization that is there to support you and to encourage you to be successful.
I think I have women in trades to thank for actually giving me the confidence to go into carpentry. I probably wouldn't have taken that first step if it hadn't have been for taking a women in trades course where I really got to see how much I liked it, and also got the idea that I could learn to do carpentry work.
It's a really great place for me because I'm a perfectionist. I love to do clean cuts, perfect squares, and put everything together, and you end up making really nice things.
I have that job that is really happy. So, you know, birthday cakes and wedding cakes and special occasion cakes, fancy desserts at the end of a meal. You know, I've got like the cheerleading position.
When I was a kid, I took a computer programming course, and the computer was as big as a couch. It was all little switches. You had to put them up and down, and then eventually it would count to 5 or something. It took forever. And I think that kind of thing has always been really interesting to me, getting things to work. And I think that social media and online stuff now is the new, you know, it's just a new generation of that.
I could never sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. I always have to be doing something. And that's what I love about it. And the fact that I get to learn every day on the job and get paid to learn every day, it's awesome.
If you're thinking of going into the trades, go for it. There's no better feeling than being able to use tools or say I built that, or be out there working with men just as hard. And yeah, it's not a man's world anymore.